Hi everybody, it's Galactic Man Larry here again with another World of Halo action figure review, and today we have in front of us the Sergeant Forge and Arbiter Ripa Moramee 2-pack with 7 pieces, which are 2 of these energy blades, or what's the name? Energy swords, whatever. This guy comes with a kind of shotgun, and they have 2 stands, and that's it. And they're looking fine in the packaging. I actually got this one more like because of the Arbiter. I wanted to have one of these Arbiter figures in the scale. I haven't followed Halo since Halo 3, so I'm not up to date, but I like to have some figures from the line. And there you can see other figures you can get from this wave or waves. I had this 2-pack. I was thinking about getting this and Johnson, but I'll decide at some point, I don't know. So there you have legal stuff. The box is of course all damaged. As you can see, it was in a store and I just picked it up as it was waiting for me. So let's take these guys out of the box and see how good they actually are. And there you have Sergeant Forge and Arbiter Ripa Moramee from World of Halo from Jazwares out of the packaging and looking great with all the accessories they come with, which are first of all these 2 stands which have a little bit of they have a, what's the name, a dry brush and some printing there, Jazwares 2022, whatever. Nice little stands, and this guy I'm gonna leave him there for, no, actually, you know what, we're gonna take him off the stand, like the same kind of stand, also with a little wash, and I think it's the very same pattern of the, the sculpt. They also come, this guy first of all with a little shotgun here, which you can keep with him or you can give to a Master Chief figure. I guess it's a bit large for this guy. I think this one will look good with a Master Chief figure that I have at home in Germany. In any case, you can also peg it in his back, on his back. He has a peg hole, you just push it there, and this guy has the weapon on his back. He can stand there, and the little Arbiter figure, which is the larger one of the 2, of course, comes with these 2, what was the name of these things, like swords, blades, hollow blades, whatever they're called, nicely sculpted in translucent plastic with a little bit of a gradient to a darker color. I don't know if it's painted on or if it's 2 translucent colors mixed in the mold. Of course it does have silver paint for the handle, and that's looking fine, that's looking good. Now the figures, let's do this guy first. They have nice paint applications. This guy has all his like death marks, or what's the name of the, like his death count on his chest. There is a script there, UNST, sorry, I think it's barcode or something below, and some death marks on his plate, as I said, and he has another typography here for his shoulder pad with some, I cannot manage to check what that one indicates. In any case, yeah, he also has a sculpted gun there in a holster, which is it removable? I don't know. I think it ain't removable. I think this one is glued there in a weird position. Maybe I'll discover later on if you can move it around, but I don't want to snap it, His plastic there for the bracelets, or his arms, looks a bit translucent, is a bit milky kind of, but the print, the whole paint on the figure is nicely applied, except for the most important one, the head, which could be better with this light. Actually, let me bring the little lamp. With this light you can see, maybe he looks a bit like a marionette, like a puppet from a clothing store, from those department stores from the 80s and 90s. There still exist, but back then they had printed faces and all of that. He has a bit of a stubble. It's not terrible, but it could be a bit finer. It could be worse as well. It's okay, it's decent enough. More paint for the legs, the camo is all around. He also has gray and all of that, it's not looking nice. Now this other guy, he is the highlight of the set in my opinion. All painted with silver. He's cast all in gray, but everything is painted silver. I mean, all the silver is painted on. It makes for a nice effect when you have light. And he has all the panel lining or a bit of a wash or something that you can see all the scriptures of his armor. You can read all the sculpted work, all the sculpt work. You can see it. On the back it's a bit lazier, but yeah, he also has like a bluish gray or a grayish blue for the straps or tattoos or whatever, the patterns on his skin or overlay, whatever he's wearing. Nice figure, nice looking one. The eyes are a bit, could be more striking. I mean, the color could be more intense in my opinion, but hey, it's there and it's looking good. I'm glad to have the figure. Now, articulation wise, this guy first, he can look up that far, has limitation because of the neck there, the neck of the armor, you know, or the shirt, whatever. He can look down that far. No tilt, sadly. Can look all the way around. The arms can also go all the way around. They can lift up to well over the T-pose. But of course this shoulder pad will get in the way. This one doesn't want. I mean, the pads are attached to the arm at the height of the bicep, so they lift a little bit. He has a single jointed elbow that bends 90 degrees or slightly, very slightly over 90. But yeah, 90 degrees. He has a diaphragm, no, the hands, sorry, can turn all the way around and have, of course, sadly, a horizontal swivel, both of them. Vertical would be nice to have, at least in one of the hands. He has a diaphragm joint that can bend sideways that far before the armor gets in the way. Actually, he can turn all the way around. He can bend forward almost nothing, sadly, backwards a little bit more, but also very little. And you can snap this guy off. The waist, he has, I mean, he's keyed on the belt kind of keys the abdomen in position, so don't fiddle around with that, at least not that hard. Again, I'm not sure if that gun is supposed to be on that angle, the holster, or if you can force it around. I don't know, I don't want to risk it here on camera, or ever, you know. Has a full splits for the, you know, he can do the full splits even with that gun there. Gets a little bit on the way. He has a thigh cut. He can kick forward slightly over 90 degrees. He can kick backward minimally. He has double jointed pinned knees that can bend all the way. That's actually, this guy, I was more interested in the elite figure, but this guy has better articulation, I must say that right away. And he has a decent ankle rocker. The feet can go backwards that far, forwards all the way as well. This little guy is a nice figure, I must say. I mean, I'm surprised, positively surprised. Now this other guy, he has no neck movement. I mean, the neck is a piece which stays there in position. The head can turn all the way around. It has just a swivel. You have no like looking up and down. It can just turn and add nuance in that sense. The arms can go all the way around. Well, yeah, actually both sides. This one will be harder because of the shoulder pad there, or yeah, it will get in the way, but kind of gets all the way around, kind of. The arms can lift that far. This one is a bit more limited again because of the amount of plastic there, but they can lift almost to a T-pose. He has a single jointed elbow that can bend only that far, slightly under 90 degrees, because the armor gets in the way, you know. This one the same. This hand has a horizontal swivel and this one has a vertical swivel. So they did with this guy what they could have done with the other guy. They gave at least one of each. The diaphragm can bend forward almost nothing because of the armor and all of that. Can bend backwards a little bit. He just can look up. That's just that range, that's the whole range, and I'll show you in a moment why. Can bend a bit to the sides, I mean tilt, that's good, and can turn a little bit to the sides as well. You can also, if you lift this piece, the abdomen part, you unkey the thing and you can turn there at the waist. I don't know if that's an illegal move, but it's you can do it if you lift the abdomen. At least my copy can do that. Also, if I pull it off, you can see that the ball peg is all the way back there, and it's just a tiny kind of, I'm a bit afraid of how thin this ball peg is, but it's the way it is. And it's the same system they use for the larger figures as well, and the Fortnite ones and all of that. You can see this is where the abdomen piece keys there, but you can move it a little bit. You can shift it up and down a little bit and free that waist movement. Now the legs can do that much splits. I mean, you can turn it and do that much. They have a knee here, and they have also the articulation for the what would be the feet. It's an alien feet, so it's a complex thing here, but he can bend 90 degrees plus that thing, and you can also bend this thing one click forward, one click backward, and it does have a little rocker kind of. For this whole piece, you have a little bit of an angle fixing there. He can kick forward. I mean, I don't like the sound of that, but he can kick forward a little bit. You can mix both and do this kind of kicking. It does have movement. You just have to fiddle with it and get used to the different build of this alien race. And for size comparisons, there you have Sergeant Forge and Arbiter Ripa Moramee next to Deathstroke, Obi-Wan Kenobi, what was the name again? Ragnarok, and the ARC Trooper Captain Fordo, and they look great all together. The Arbiter figure towers over all of them except Deathstroke. If he would be all straight, he would be taller, but Deathstroke is just a different scale. But I like how these figures look together, and I like all the ones that share the scale look next to the Arbiter, who is deutlich, who is properly larger. And yeah, I'm very happy to finally have an Arbiter figure, which actually looks pretty nice. And I can only recommend this 2-pack if you have, I mean, don't overpay. If you find it at retail price or at a discount, go for it. If overpriced, I don't know, the quality is not super high, they look better than they feel in hand. Especially the Arbiter looks better than it feels in hand, moving the articulations and all of that, but still is a figure I think I'm gonna enjoy having, and I can wait to put him next to a Master Chief just for the sake of, even if there are many different Arbiters, I don't care. For me there's one. I stopped Halo at Halo 3, and that's what I remember. In any case, yeah, you decide for yourself. I really like them, and I'm glad. Please leave a like, share, comment, subscribe, and all of that good stuff. Take care, and I will see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao, ciao.